Okay, 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 okay. Okay, 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 okay. Listen to me. Cyrene trailer dropped 14 hours ago as of this recording. I had to go to bed. I couldn't process this. Oh, I'm so excited for her character, dude. There's so much to her character that I think is legitimately cool, and I'm just excited. I'm excited. Look at her. Look at her beautiful face. She is beautiful. She got all the rainbow. Puzzle piece is interesting. We're gonna do the reaction now, but I already have like a lot of thoughts about her as a character. So I'm really excited to see what this is about. Cause man, I've been really looking forward to her patch. There's so much potential that just needs to be explored. And I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, let's go.
Just one last piece left.
Oh.
Are you looking for this?
Thank you. If 30 million pieces are needed to create the image of the end,
Aw.
then I hope I get to be one of the pieces.
Oh, the other
A
ears.
powerless onlooker putting them together.
Oh my god.
Even if that puzzle piece is only a fake memory?
Oh wait, she's so cute.
That's still
Oh my god.
something I've never had.
You've never had a real memory? Oh, she's so pretty. Dude, the art transitions always go so hard.
Where is this?
Are you trying to catch the stars?
Oh, that's what March said to us at the start.
Have you really thought it through? All for a possibility that you may never get to see?
Oh, she's like experiencing the different adventures that the Trailblazers did.
If you choose to be an onlooker forever, then you won't have to know.
Oh boy.
How painful loneliness is.
Then you won't have to
They
know
will be
how
the
painful
last piece
loneliness
required
is.
for the ending.
But the price to pay is 30 million more cycles spent waiting. You don't know.
Oh my
if
god, I love
destruction
seeing
or tomorrow
I love
will
seeing her
arrive
two
first.
forms together.
And the tomorrow after the end may not hold a future for you.
What I fear
Oh.
is to gradually forget the face of the one I'm waiting for. As for that future with no tomorrow, compared to the hero's 30 million tribulations, mere waiting is a small price to pay,
Oh my gosh.
isn't it?
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to pause this so much. Oh dude.
Are you looking for this?
Thank you.
Dude, the music. Oh my god. Oh, that's so pretty.
Come, let us pen the final stroke and end this story.
Okay, wait, that logo? Okay. Wait. Oh my god, that's so pretty. That kind of makes me think of like Final Fantasy art almost. We got Finon over here. We got Evernight, our little remembrance sister, Cassie. Oh, we have everyone here. That is so sweet. Oh my god, okay. Okay. It is hecking thinking goggles time. Hold on. This shot with all of the different airs, like also Cypher, the goat of amphoreus, but oh my god, look, Midday. Even this part, right? The background that she has around her looks more like a painting, like something that would be the illustration in a book. And you see here, the pages are turning, and they're showing you each of the Christos heirs, because we've essentially been experiencing all of their stories, right? They are all their own pages in this book. And that is something that Cyrene's imagery has always really emphasized, right? The whole thing of being a writer. And I have to go back through this part too. Oh my goodness. I just noticed like Leia and Cypher just back to back. Oh, dude, I love seeing all of the little Cyrenes. Like, all of her previous cycles are just looking on and seeing her move forward. Also, dude, this part is so pretty. Like, what the hell? She's trying to complete the puzzle. I think this whole thing of puzzle pieces, it might also end up tying in with how her own memory is like a puzzle that needs to be completed now too, right? Because the curious thing is that Cyrene and the Cyrene that we know as Mem are not really the same entity right now. Mem has mostly lost all of the memories of the previous Cyrenes throughout the cycles. So what I'm really looking forward to is the possibility of us seeing those two converge in the story, so that we get to see Cyrene as her complete self, past and new, with herself that was forced to be only an observer, only a writer, who was not able to be one of the characters in the stories of all of these cycles past the first one. And also the Cyrene that is Mem, the Memo Sprite, who finally got to be a participant, even without all of her previous memories. But, you know, alongside the Trailblazer, she gets to actually be part of the narrative that is being penned, right? Because Cyrene has been forced to only record, even this here, all of the pages. You even see like the little symbols of her runes going across here. This part is interesting because it's kind of almost like highlighting the hitboxes of everyone, right? Chaotically. It's almost like lit candles in a sense. The way that everyone around her has fallen again and again. Also, this is interesting. What is this over here? This almost looks like some kind of sequence. It's interesting. Wait, yeah, no, it's writing out a message, isn't it? Also, yes, her literally writing down. Oh wow, yeah, I hadn't noticed that before. It is writing out a message. That's so cool. Oh my god, I wonder what that says. Wait, this is a beautiful shot. All of the objects representing the different heirs. Oh, the Cypher. I love Cypher so much. Forgive me. I love her expression, dude. How she holds the pen. And the Mem. The Mem is such an adorable creature. There was just like way too... I was too captivated by the beauty of the visuals in order to notice this big heckin' message over here. And this again is like a screen, right? It just kind of reminds me of all the CRT TV screens where you like look closely upon them and you can kind of see like all the pixel separations. That's what this makes me think of. And then it shatters. You see the sort of fuzziness, all these little visual glitches. I always do really well with how the glitches look. The lines of a microchip here. That is a really cool shot of Iron Tomb there. Oh, that's so cool how you just see shapes that are like loops.
If 30 million pieces are needed to create the image of the end, then I hope I get to be one of the pieces. Not a powerless onlooker putting them together.
The key though, isn't it? She wants to be able to be part of the story. Also, oh my god, the way that they have the transparent... Dude, it's like the transparency when you're like drawing something, right? Like, yeah, she's like a silhouette on the canvas. She's not fully present, right? Oh my gosh, it's like the slow transformation between her two forms here, right? The shift between her older and younger self. This is where she gets to be on the page. Notice also, in this section, all of the Christos heirs, all of them have a blend of colors. They have a color that is kind of highlighting them. Like, to an extent, they all have these colors of the rainbow. But for Cyrene herself, it feels very emphasized. She is taking in all of the colors of this story and is finally going to be a character. So this part where she's going through all of the Trailblazers' memories and kind of inserting herself there, which it's funny how Cyrene manages to be both kind of like parasocial with the Astral Express crew here, but also how she's stuck being parasocial within Amphoreus's own story as well, considering she's only stuck observing the people that she used to be alongside with. This being the mem portion of her, I think it's only properly in this later section of the trailer where it feels like her selves are kind of coalescing here, right? Especially with that hug. She's really desperately seeking a narrative to be part of, is the impression that I'm getting. See, the way that all shatters, though, is like she's breaking out of the illusion that she can just remain inserted into someone else's memories and just be fine, because right now her existence is kind of tied. The continuation of her existence is tied to the Trailblazer, and I think there has to be either some way that she breaks free of that and fully becomes like her own entity, because she has like her own story, right? And I think she's not going to be content just trying to have this idea of being part of the crew, because all of this didn't happen, right? She's just kind of observing all of these memories and imagining what it would be like if she was part of them, but she wasn't. The Cyrene that is Mem is going to do this because she's kind of been by our side this whole time. Like, this is the strongest bond that she's made as a fragile existence, right? And tagging along as we experience the story that she was stripped from. If you choose to be an onlooker forever, then you won't have to know how painful loneliness is. That is the tragedy of her character, okay? Because when it comes to Alicia as a character, I am an HI third player. I also really like Alicia. To me, what they are trying to set up here, the main difference between them is that for Alicia, she was a very central character of her narrative, right? And also some spoilers for HI third here. If you are interested in Alicia as a character but want to kind of see how that unravels within the game, do skip here. The thing about Alicia, she was very central in the narrative that she's part of. I mean, by the time we meet her, she's already dead, right? As we learn more about her and the other flame chasers, we see how central she is to that group. I mean, heck, she's like the one that was forming it. She was putting everything into motion, trying to get them officially recognized, which there was actual pushback on. The organization that they were part of weren't really wanting to recognize the flame chasers at first. And so being the one who's kind of setting up this group of complicated people that she believed could work together really well and help out humanity, she was even going to be the one that would be the leader of that group, not Kevin. But Kevin ended up taking the role of leader because she decided she didn't want it. You know, as central as she was, she didn't think that position suited her. She prefers the role of second in command and keeping everything going together, right? Like, she has a lot of leadership skills, but crucially did not want to be the leader, quote unquote. And the way this ends up going is, for Alicia's tragedy, it's that she brings all of these people together. You know, she sets up this group, she cares deeply about all of them, and yet, when it matters most, at the end, this group is unable to work together. This group basically kind of just falls apart. When she invited people to that final banquet, so to say, to like see her off, not everyone came. Not everyone came. Did her best to have close bonds with them and make everyone have close bonds with each other, but not everyone came. Only a few people came. And the same with the fight with the Herrscher of the End. Not everyone came. And so you have this friendly girl, this really positive, friendly girl who seems almost like she's perfect. Like she is, you know, using, I mean, almost the power of friendship to like bring everyone together, try to encourage everyone to work together, and she can't do it. It didn't happen while she was alive. That's part of what sucks about what happens to her. When they actually are finally able to work together, it's when most of them have already died, right? Because it's the Sims that are working together. They never really got to do that in reality. But you know, part of the story is that it still matters. It still ultimately matters. Like how Amphoreus is a simulation, but you can see that they're setting up the idea that all of it still does ultimately matter. But it's still really sad. But nonetheless, what I'm saying is Alicia is very, very centered in her own story, not Cyrene. Alicia, we got to see pretty in-depth her different bonds with all of the flame chasers, but not with Cyrene, because Cyrene has been denied that chance actively before it even begins. Cyrene has to die at the start of each cycle in order to keep writing new pages. I mean, if Cyrene is the one that creates new pages, then Kaslana is the one that's running across them. That's kind of part of their whole plan. She has to keep extending the cycles, and he has to keep trying to play this hero character. And these roles of writer and of hero are roles that end up actively dehumanizing them and making them have to internalize their feelings and to just keep going and keep going and keep going. They are not able to live out their own wishes, their own dreams. They have to be solely dedicated to these roles. And it's really sad because it is like the opposite of Alicia. She doesn't get to express love towards everyone. She's been removed from it. I mean, you have these characters that meant to be embodiments of love, but Cyrene is an embodiment of love that never gets to express that love. When you are a writer, story can be very personal to you, and it can mean a lot to you, but ultimately there is still a level of detachment from it. Here she's holding up the book in front of her face. She's not part of it. As personal as the story you're writing can be to you, as much as you can connect to those characters, there is going to be a level of detachment from them. The way she speaks about what other Crisis heirs are experiencing feels very detached because she spent so long in this role of writer that she's unable to connect on the same level anymore. That is part of what makes her so lonely. All of these people who used to be important parts of her life are now reduced, part of the story that she has to maintain, and she doesn't get to play a leading role in it until now, hopefully in 3.7. So she cares about everyone, but it's in a way that feels distant, where she can't actually express that love to them. All she can do is watch. And that's the thing, because her and Phainon have a lot of parallels between them. They are both forced into roles that deprive them of their humanity. His is just taking the central role, and hers is taking the background role. They're both equally as important, and they're both being used as pawns for forces far beyond their comprehension. Phainon is kind of leading up to being used as a pawn for the destruction, and Cyrene is being used as a pawn for the remembrance, where both of these are entities that don't actually care about them. I mean, there's heckin' aeons, they're incomprehensible manifestations of concepts, and thus they're not being treated as human. Not by the Aeon, not by Lycus, who also takes the very literal describing things as stories and characters approach that Cyrene does. And I think ultimately this has really shattered Cyrene's perception of herself. Just like all of these pieces of the story of Amphoreus coming together with everyone's role involved, she has to pick up her own pieces too. She doesn't feel like a complete person. She has the same symbol in her eye as Phainon, by the way, Kephale's symbol. The way that Phainon's memories as Kephale are used to make the new world, she's also equally as part of that, right? Because she's the one resetting the cycle and creating the new world. And now her memories are what's going to really come into play here. I don't know, I just have so many thoughts about her. The way that she's had to keep a smile this whole time. Phainon is very open, like, with his frustration. Like, he has that huge release of hate. He still has that spark of love in him. Cyrene is an embodiment of love with a spark of hate for her circumstances, for what Lycus has been using everyone for. I mean, truly it feels like she is so afraid of being forgotten and not being real, not being human, but she is real and human. She's definitely flawed. And this whole thing of writer also does tie into the design of the little Cyrene. I do kind of wish that more of the little Cyrene's design elements had ended up in her new form. I think her new form is gorgeous, but I do kind of wish that some elements had remained from little Cyrene in her design, like little rune belts are a really cool thing that I would have loved to see kind of wrapped around her in some way. You know, the lettering on her, and the way that she's always been associated with the As I've Written book, as she's written down. The way that the Trailblazer gets the pen when working with Mem in the remembrance form. She's always been shown as a writer and storyteller. This has been set up since the inception, even with her whole tarot cards thing. Also treating everyone as characters in that form. They are all these cards. They all have like these names that represent them. They have all this sort of idea of how their fate is going to go. That too is part of telling a story. From the very onset, she's had this disconnection. It was just always so interesting. She is quite literally just like a shadow. I just really care about her. I think that there is so much sadness to this character, and I think 3.7 is going to be the opportunity where we really get to lean into that and what all of these threads are building up to. I've just been so curious about how they're going to build on this and follow it through, because all of these details are so cool and so interesting, and I need to see, you know, I need to see all the slices of the pie baked together, please. It feels like a lot of the sort of setup of her character is maybe a bit easy to miss, but it's really intriguing stuff, man. You see, I'm excited and I'm scared, man. I feel like 3.7 is gonna be a bit of a ride. Can't believe it's gonna be the last patch of Amphoreus. That's crazy. You've been with these characters for a while, huh? I guess feel free to give me your thoughts about Cyrene as a character in the comments below. I'm always open to discussions in terms of characterization, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye bye!